Well, hello there. Welcome to another great paranormal highway. We're on a Friday, the end of the week. We got the weekend, and we got a whole new week to start next week. We are here to kick this fucking Friday off correctly. What I'm going to do on a Friday, I decided on a Friday, we're going to have some fun. Why? Because it's the end of the week. We work our ass off the whole week. A lot of you guys are tired. You want to get some cold brews. Want to get some good food. We want to watch some Paranormal Highway. What I'm going to do on every Friday, I'm going to give one reading to the chat, to the community. One reading to you all. Because we're all family here. I'm going to give you guys one reading to the chat, to you all. So this reading is going to be to all of you. Why? Because sometimes when you start a weekend, you get to the end of that Friday, we need that little extra boof. You know, we need that little extra strength in us. So you are visited by Lord Gypsy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you guys. I got 4 crystals. I got the green, I got the red, I got the yellow, I got the purple. So right now, during my intro for this, you put what color you want, and I'll see what has the most picks, and I'm going to give all of you one reading for you all. So while I play this intro, start putting in the color crystal that you want.
World. You're a Force wielder. But you're not a Jedi.
Wielder? Jedi and Sith wield the Ashlar and Bogan, the light and the dark. I'm the one in the middle.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger.
With my gifts of the dark side and the light side, I will be able to predict the past, present, and future.
No. It's not true. That's impossible.
That boy is our last hope.
No more training do you require. Already know you. That which you need.
All right. I see red, green, purple. We're all tied. Oh, I see 2 purple. So we're going to go with the balance. We are going to go with the balance. I'm going to give you guys one reading for you all. My gift to you guys. 1 purple. I'm going to use the power. Using the force. Pod race. This is 1 card for you all as my gift to you all. Lord Gypsy is here to stay. Hold a race. Any kind will do. Push yourself to go faster than you ever have before. It doesn't matter who wins as long as you cross the finish line with pride. Love that card. Great card for the weekend. Why? Hold a race. Any kind. Push yourself. Push yourself hard. Whatever that thing is you want to do this weekend, whatever you want to do on a Friday, push yourself. Chad, you got a show tonight. Spooky, you got a show tonight on Paranormal Chop Shop. Push yourselves. Have that fun. It's going to pay off. It doesn't matter who wins. Doesn't. As long as you cross the finish line with pride. That could be anything. Push yourself, people. Win or lose, you're all winners. As long as you know you worked your ass off. You worked hard. That's all that matters. And I'm going to prove something to you guys. Sometimes we think these big ass corporations like Warner Brothers, they want to copyright everything. Even I thought, I can't get rid of some of these copyrights from these companies. They don't give a shit about me. They don't give a rat's ass about me. But you know what? I didn't give up. I tried. I went to Warner Brothers on one of my videos because I had a video. Not that one. I had a video one time called Man of Steel, Superman movie, the real Mandela effect movie. And I did a video on how the Mandela effect movie itself is fucking crap. And I said how this movie really represents the Mandela effect more. And I use all these clips. Warner Brothers put a thing on it. If you guys want to watch that video later today, you can. I'll put it right here in the chat. You can. And so I said, hey, I was just doing it, reviewing it, and guess what? Let me show you guys. I fought. Look at this. Hi, Paranormal Highway. Good news. After reviewing your dispute, Warner Brothers Film has decided to release their copyright claim on your video. Warner Brothers. So anything in life is possible. I fought. I gave my reasons why I believe they should not take away my copyrights on it, and they've got rid of it. Now the video is back up and can be shown again. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Do not ever give up. I don't care how big, how small, you could do it. This is just a minor win. I know that. There's going to be others. That still will not release their copyrights. It is what it is. But I won't give up because most channels need to understand that I am here sharing, feeding the information, because that's why we got into this, right? Isn't that why we doing YouTube? Isn't that why we do social media? To help share the knowledge, to help share the truth, to get to what we want to get to. The UFOs, Bigfoots, paranormal, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just want to share and talk about it. That's what we're all here. And some people lose sight of that. Some people, it turns out it's all about the money. And don't get me wrong. Do I want to make money? Do I want to have members of this channel? Of course I do. But I will never give up what the real part of this channel is about. I would never do that. You got to be strong on the inside. Be you. So when you're in that race, go harder, go faster. It doesn't matter if you win at the end. At least you know you tried, you did your best. That's all that matters. You know what else it matters? I'll tell you what else it matters. It matters what the cryptids and Bigfoot think in this world. So let's get right into it. Let's do this shit. All right, man, I'm so excited because we get to learn something. This might be something new to you guys. Might not. Doesn't matter. We're going to do it anyway. Have you guys ever heard of the Ohio Grassman? Have you guys? The Ohio Grassman. This video is from a friend of the channel, Journey to the Other Side, Journey to the Center. Great videos. And he actually did a video on the Ohio Grassman. So if you never heard of this, fantastic. You're in for a treat. Terry Brown has heard of it. That's awesome. And he might be able to tribute some stuff from the video. I know Danny has heard of the Grassman, but some of you, and Terry's in Ohio because it's important, because the Grassman is known as the Ohio folklore story. So if you not have heard of it from the UFO community, the paranormal community, well, let's learn. And we got some people in the chat to share some of their information. We're going to have a good time. Let's do this thing.
What is the Ohio Grassman? Intelligence and aggressiveness are a scary combination for any animal. Add being nearly 7 feet tall and possessing superhuman strength into the mix, and you've got yourself a true woodland boogeyman. This is just the case for the residents of the Buckeye State, who share their home with the Ohio Grassman. The Grassmen of Ohio get their nickname from their habit of building hut-like structures out of the tall grass in the area. Typically between 6 and 7 feet tall, 300 to 500 pounds, and possessing a strong, rot-like smell. Physically, they are described as looking closer to humans than apes. They are thought to be responsible for killing deer by taking livers and twisting their legs off. Stories from the Native Americans say that despite their high levels of aggressiveness, they would favor peace if it were more beneficial, suggesting a level of diplomatic intelligence. They nicknamed them...
Isn't that awesome? I love that part. They defer to good friendship instead of hate. I love that. And we know it's a Sasquatch, but it's the form of a Sasquatch. It's probably one of the families of the Sasquatch, you know, one of the I don't know. But I love when he said that the story goes that they're not really danger unless you're going to danger them.
The wild ones of the woods, and would leave out food in an effort to maintain this peace. The first reported sighting in modern times was by the Clayton family in Minerva, Ohio. Their grandchildren were playing outside with friends when they saw a giant hairy man in their gravel pit. They estimated the beast to be roughly 7 feet tall and 300 pounds. Both parties fled the scene, but this would not be their last encounter with the creature. The Grassman would return to their home, often peering through first-floor windows. One of the men ran to retrieve his gun, but the monster had disappeared by the time he returned. He investigated, but only found footprints and a terrible smell. After these encounters, the family had a startling realization. Why their dog had been found with its neck snapped, days before the gravel pit encounter. The Ohio Grassman's high intelligence and relatively small size, 6 to 7 feet, is tiny for an adult male Sasquatch, leads me to believe that they are more likely a relic hominid similar to Neanderthals than a more gorilla-like subspecies such as a patty type. Now, interestingly, 16-inch hair strands recovered after sightings have been submitted to Ohio State University, but analysis has shown they match no known animal.
All right. So that's the Ohio Grassman. So basically, another form of Bigfoot, but that is a name. And Terry, if you got anything you want to add about the Ohio Grassman, you got the chat. Put some information in. You want everybody to know. This next video is called "Attack in the Woods." Was it the Ohio Grassman? Now, I'm not going to make claims that any of this is real. Maybe some of you know this video clip is real or not. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes, and you know what? If you really want to know after you see this video, if it's fake or real, that's the beautiful part. You get to do your own research. You get to check it out, find out what is this? Who is this group? You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's exciting in a lot of ways. So this is called Attack in the Woods. Was it the Ohio Grassman?
Think those are from?
I have no idea.
Deer, maybe? This one up here. That one looked pretty big. I don't know. That one seemed pretty big to me. What is that? Shine a light over there.
find out what that was. Oh,
Where'd you go?
Over here.
That thing's freaking huge. Did you see it?
let's see.
Oh, geez. Oh, God. Oh, that thing hurt my leg.
So I can't tell you if they really saw Ohio Grassman and it fell to the ground. All I know is just a little deer or a squirrel or just one big act. But there's still stories, all around the world, people seeing these things and are running, are getting the hell out of there. So I guess you could take from this is real or not, bullshit or not, that if you are gonna go research, especially at night, make sure you go with somebody who knows the area, somebody who knows the mountains and stuff, because it can be dangerous, not just because of the Bigfoot, Grassman, the bunny. I don't know, whatever. You're in danger. You're at night. You don't know what's in front of you. Have a first aid kit with you. Make sure you have some stuff. If you're going to do this at night, you should have at least 2 people with you, because you never know. What if you run into a bear? I'm serious. What do you do? Well, with the bear, you fall straight down. You're rolling to a ball. But it's hard to know when is danger time. And even the daytime, people, even in the daytime, it's not guaranteed it's safe. A creature, a bear, they don't care if it's day or night. If they feel threatened by you, they're going to get you. Justin wrote here, or bring a better torch for starters. Bring a better torch. Good point. I can't say that I ever encountered a cryptid in my life, except for the little man I saw numerous times in the woods outside our home as a child. Spirits, entities, I see them daily. No cryptids. Thank you for that, Terry. Thank you for that honest answer. Sometimes you wonder about people if when they say they see cryptids, did they, or do they just want publicity? I don't know. To me, there's never a reason to lie. It's not. If you still walk, if you still researching stuff, go out there. You never know. You might find that magic. You might find that touch. So beyond that, guys, come on, man. Let's move on over to some paranormal. We're gonna be visiting Ireland today. Ireland. We're gonna zoom on over. I wish I could fly every single one of you to Ireland to check out these haunted places. Let's check it out. All right, give me a second here. All right, so we're in Ireland right now. We're in Ireland. Look at all these great people here in Ireland. How you doing? Man, when I'm in Ireland, I feel like I just want a beer, right? But I'm sure nobody's gonna give me a beer here because I'm in make-believe land. But I would love to be in Ireland. If I'm in Ireland, I want to go visit the Loftus Hall. The Loftus Hall. Supposedly, the Loftus Hall is supposedly in Ireland, one of the most scariest places in Ireland. So if you're near Ireland, if any one of you is near Ireland, go check out Loftus Hall. Supposedly one of the most scariest places over there in Ireland.
Even before the sun has set on County Wexford, an eerie darkness settles over the Hook Peninsula in Ireland's southeast. And here stands a bleak and exposed landmark on the headland. this 14th century, now abandoned mansion, Loftus Hall.
Trev, I'm really not sure about this place. It looks so creepy. I know everywhere we've been in Ireland, there's been ghost stories, but I'm not sure on this one.
This is Loftus Hall. It is the most haunted place in all of Ireland. So we've got to check this out, because if you're going to get scared...
If there's anybody here that is from Ireland or has been to Ireland a lot, is it really considered one of the most scariest, or are they just making these claims that it is? You know, I would really like to know, because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn from each other, right? I really want to know if this is really considered one of the scariest places. And if it is considered one of the scariest places, then what the hell is Discovery Plus doing? Send myself, let me get a team together. Connor will be part of that team. Get a real team together. Send us over there, and we'll tell you if that's the most haunted place in Ireland. Let some professionals go over there. I'm not talking about those goddamn ghost adventurers, ghost hunters, those fucking people. I'm talking about real down-to-earth people who are not actors, who we just want the truth. So Discovery Plus, you're sitting in your little desk in the back reading all these books on what kind of shows you can have. Get off your ass. Give me a phone call. I'm ready for your phone call. I got my passport, so I'm ready to fly out tonight, God damn it. So Discovery Plus, you're watching this? Come on, man. Come on.
The best place to get scared is right here in Ireland.
Do we have to?
Katie, come on.
What's the light flickering? Oh.
Since its construction during the time of the plague, Loftus Hall has had a dark and brooding history. To get to the bottom of it, we've teamed up with Tina and Tim from Irish Ghost Hunters, who know the manor inside out and the story of its reputed residents, of the ghostly kind. To get a bit of background on the story of Loftus Hall, it was time to sit down for a game of cards.
Many years ago, there was a big storm, the Hookhead Peninsula. A stranger got shipwrecked, ended up knocking on the door of Loftus Hall. The daughter had fallen for this.
I wonder if they're going to be playing strip poker. I mean, dude, if you're going to play cards in a haunted house, I mean, my God, at least make it strip poker, right? Wouldn't it be fun playing strip poker in a haunted house? I'm down for that.
Dark stranger. And one night they were having a card game in this room. A card fell on the floor, bent down to pick up the card, and she noticed that he had hoofed feet. And in temper, he burst into a flame, went up through the roof. The story is that the roof, they have tried to fix it many times, and that the hole keeps coming through.
Loftus Hall has had several reincarnations since then. In 1917, it was bought by the Sisters of Providence, but turned into a convent and a school for young girls. But it was sold after two nuns mysteriously died on the stairs, up where a cross remains etched in the floor today. As we make our way to the top level, a growing sense of uneasiness sets in, and it's hard to resist the urge to leave these icy corridors far behind.
You know what, guys? I'm being serious about this real quick. You know, a lot of people always says they have that uneven feeling. But let's think about that for a second. And this is no lies or bullshit. Now, you're going into a place, right? And you heard that it's haunted. And it's an abandoned kind of a place. So it's cold. It's probably already cold. It's in Ireland. You're going up the steps. Nobody else is there. I mean, don't you feel like that no matter where you're at, kind of this thing, you get a creepy feeling? I mean, listen, sometimes I'm in my house, right? I want to drink of water, so I walk out in the dark in my underwear. Scary. That's already scary. You guys, you want to see me in my underwear, you're probably already running, hiding behind the couches. But, if you're dark, that could be creepy. Cold, dark. Sometimes things feel creepy. Okay? Now, if that feels sometimes creepy, walk in your underwear from your bedroom to the kitchen to get some water, going to a place where you think it's haunted and you're going upstairs that is cold, there's a good possibility you're going to feel creepy. And that's not because of the surroundings. That's just because the position that you're in at a place like this. I'm just saying, I really wish, so when I hear investigators say with the grand, you feel the creepiness. Well, really? Really? Because that expectation, whatever, of something might be jumping out you or touching you, that might be creating a scare. I'm not trying to debunk this, but I'm just trying to be real about this. So sometimes I'm not really super 100% on board when they say they're feeling creepiness.
Oh, I always feel so weird when I actually come into this room, guys. You know that?
It's kind of creepy, isn't it?
It has a really creepy feel to it.
And it's colder. How do you feel that there's a temperature difference in here?
It's a huge temperature difference between outside and in here.
Yeah. So tell us the story about this room.
Well, I feel that this room is connected to Kitty and Michael.
Now, that was the couple that owned this place. They took ownership to turn it into a hotel. They operated it for a while, but then he died.
Yes, apparently it was around the 1980s, as far as I know. And he died, unfortunately passed away. She continued to run it the best she could. And then one day, she's gone. She actually decided to leave the country. When someone spoke to her afterwards, apparently the story was that the house had told her to get out.
She didn't say anything else?
Nothing else whatsoever. She got terrified one night, so much so, she left everything.
Tim, what experiment are we going to run in this room?
We have the K2 meter. It's actually an electromagnetic field meter, and this will pick up electromagnetic fields around the area of the actual meter itself. Yeah, now, there's no reason for that to go off like that.
Wow.
That's pretty strange, to be honest with you. See that? It's strange, isn't it?
From that unexpected reading from the K2 meter, Katie wanted to leave pretty quickly, which led us to our main experiment.
Tina, what happened here?
Okay, so this is the room of Anne Tottenham. So the story has it that she had a relationship with the Dark Stranger. She got pregnant and her family were disgraced. So
I like that. Justin wrote that would be due to not having bloody plasters on the wall. Are you saying that might be part of the reason why the thing might be going off? Because if it is, that's good. That's kind of stuff that we need. We don't want to just automatically sit there and think, oh, it's going off. There's something there. And there could be other reasons. Paranormal Pixie wrote, some places do have a creepy factor. These folks do strike me as a type to get wound up, unlike the Ghost Adventures types. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that. I agree with that. And I love it when you guys make comments and stuff. This is a way that we can communicate and chat, without having 20,000 people go on this show and everybody's talking at once. You never get to learn shit. But I like that.
So they locked her up in this room. She went insane, unfortunately, and she had a baby. The story has it they killed the baby and they hid the body of the baby in the wall. In the 1800s, they redone the house. It had a big revamp, and they did find the remains of a baby in the wall.
Inside of the wall?
In this room.
And so we're going to try out the spirit box in here?
We're going to try, and we're going to see if maybe we can make a connection to Anne Tottenham. It's going to scan between AM and FM. It goes very quick, and they say that spirits can manipulate what comes through on the radio.
Danny, that's a good one right there. That really is a good one. Danny wrote the EMF reader could be going off due to all the camera lighting gear. Because think about it. If it reads electricity, all your power gear has batteries. And who knows if it's picking up batteries or, I know some people might say, well, those are designed not to really pick up batteries. Well, what if you have a bad battery? There's actually issues with batteries. So that's a good point. How much cameras are they having, right? Because I'm sure sometimes doing these shows on TV, they got whole setups. Because one thing ghost hunters have said from their show, that one of the things I've heard from a guest that was actually on Chad Smith podcast, one of the investigators was part of an episode in Seattle, and says one of the things that Ghost Adventures always says, not Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, sorry about that, Ghost Hunters, TAPS, have said that the biggest problem they have with investigations is when you're doing a TV show that most of the night it's setting up. And then they only have a few hours to do any kind of investigation. And that means if it takes hours to set up, how many electronics are they setting up? How many electricity batteries they're using, especially in a place like this that might not have a lot of plugins and outlets, and they need a lot of batteries. So, Danny, that's a very good one, Danny. I thank you for bringing that up.
If Anne is here, can you please say yes?
What was that?
That was the voice.
Are you afraid of us?
Katie, this really does have a bit of a freaky feel to it, this place, doesn't it? I have to admit, one of the things I do love is this magnificent staircase. This is the same design as the one on the Titanic. Of course, it's not underwater.
Do you know that for 10 years, though, this staircase was actually exposed to the elements, but the nuns, when they were here, looked after it so beautifully that you can hardly tell. But when it was a monastery, one of the nuns actually fell down these stairs and died somewhere here.
The nuns were so scared, they actually packed up and left. It was another one of those attempts to sort of live in this house that failed.
I'm sorry about that, Donnie. I'm sorry. Was I calling you Danny? I'm sorry, Donnie. My bad. My bad. I'm bad. I personally apologize.
It's a really freaky place. And here's the exciting thing. If you want to have this experience for yourself, you can. The Ghostbusters will take you through this place as part of the tour of Loftus Hall.
I tell you what, I would love to go in there because, first of all, it does not seem to me that it would be the most haunted place in Ireland. I could be wrong. But if that's the most haunted place in Ireland, then shit, maybe they really don't have any ghosts. I'm just saying. You know, I like I said, I wish I'll go there. And all I want, if I get to go into a place like this, if Discovery Plus is watching, you send me and Connor. All I want is a camera and EMP. I don't want a ghost box. I don't want a detector. No, I just want this and this. I just want my ears and eyes. That's all I want. I'll have a digital voice recorder just to please everybody, you know. But I don't want a ghost box in a place like this because I don't want to. I want to make sure at all there's no chances of any radio frequencies leaking into it, or maybe somebody's making a phone call on a phone or any interference. I just want myself in there, and they want me to walk around the whole haunted place in my underwear just with the camera EVP. I'm willing to do that. Because I don't. Okay, equipment's cute. They're awesome. All right, but you know what? I don't need equipment. Just me. I'm the equipment. Me. Now, guys, here's the. Everybody has seen these videos in Ireland about the haunted school. Everybody's seen it. But I want to show it one more time because I really want to know from you guys in the chat or who's watching this. Put it in the comments. Put it in the chat. Once and for all, is this haunted school one big fake prank, or do you think there is some truth to it? So this is an interactive. This one is going to be interactive, and I really want to hear from all of you. There ain't a lot of people today, but hey, 19 people, I love you all. Fuck everybody else what they're doing today. You guys are here. Let's have this conversation.
Parents, stop me if you heard this excuse. Mom, I don't want to go to school today because it's haunted.
What?
Well, at one school in Ireland, that is a legitimate excuse because take a look at this.
Okay.
This is my favorite. You can read it because you did like a play-by-play.
Okay. A spooky video is going viral from Deer Park CBS School Park in Ireland. The video shows a dark hallway. There are unseen crashes in the hallway. A backpack launches itself off a row of lockers. Did that happen already?
Yeah, it already happened.
Okay, there it goes. There flies right off the wall. You just saw that there.
Yes.
A chair gets up and goes for a walk. There it goes. There it's going. It's going. Ah, and get this. This is the second video from the school in less than a month of the alleged haunting. So the school grounds have long been rumored to be haunted because in the 19th century, criminals were hung over there.
Okay, so the principal came out and even said, we are freaked out by this. He says, if it is a prank, then well done. Because it's happening in the middle of the night. So like people are saying, oh, there's someone there with a string or something. According to the principal, he says, no, that's not the case. But boy, it's so fun to watch, isn't it?
Well, that definitely would be my excuse. I ain't going to school, Mom, because it's haunted.
That's right.
What do you guys think?
Okay, I'm normally very, very skeptical. But if the principal even believes it.
It's a good point. I'm going to say best senior prank ever. I think maybe some students there figured out a way to rig those objects.
So you don't believe it?
I don't, but it's...
All right, let's see what some of the people said in the chat. I love your show, Eric. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I had to bring that on. Donnie. Sorry, my friend. I'm sorry about that in the past. Its reputation goes back as long way, so I think there's something to it. That's a fair statement. From what I know, it is valid and haunted. Okay. This is kind of stuff I want to know. Freaky stuff. If it's real, well, yeah, because you know, we all seen ghost videos. Sometimes you'll see one thing move and that's about it. That thing's like aggressive. It's throwing everything around. It's like, why? You know, it's why is it so extra aggressive? You know, that's a question. Danny, at the end, if the EMF reader was detected electric bleed from all their equipment, I would be going off in every room they set up that equipment. And so that could easily be tested. Okay. That's fair. Listen, anybody who watches this channel, everything needs to be brought up. Nobody's here. What I love about this community, the people that watch this show, Bigfoot Anon's channel, you know, some of these channels, that we can have an open conversation and not anybody takes it to heart, you know, takes it in a bad way. But, you know, the question is, could there be a possibility? Yes. Is it likely? Who knows? You know, if the equipments are built well, you know, like they say, you know, you buy good quality equipment, you know, you should eliminate that. And I believe that because you guys got to remember, I worked 18, 20 years in the cable business, right? And one of the biggest problems that causes issues with cable television back in the day, ghost television, grain, is bad splitters, bad fittings. People went and bought the cheapest splitters there is. They put it on. And when they put it on, it bleeds. It leaks in the air. You know, cable wires leak a lot of signal in the air. People don't realize that. So like one of the things that I would do, and this is just my opinion. If somebody wanted me to do a serious house investigations and you want me to bring all these equipment, the first thing I'm going to test is to make sure that all the cable wires and all the phone wires are on tight, good equipment. I will have a cable reader to make sure there's no leak. Because guys, got to remember this. A leak fitting can send cable TV signals in the air. I'm not saying a ghost box will pick that up very easily, but it could. So if I'm going to be doing an investigation, I will be checking the phone wires and the cable wires because they can leak. And if places uses amplifiers on cable wires. There's electrical current that goes in those wires. And you never, ever see any investigations ever test the cable stuff. Almost everybody in this world has some kind of a cable to their house using the internet or whatever. You got to test, because I've seen those wires leak. And back in the day, before everything was digital, if you look at a TV back in the day, when you see a double image, that is because there's a leak. And that means when there's a leak, a single of the leak gets in the cable wire, and two singles are hitting that TV. One that's right now and one that's 2 seconds ago. And it causes a bleed. So you have to check everything, my opinion. Eric, debunk all the obvious things first, then you go to the other possibilities. Exactly. You debunk it to the max, and then whatever is left, then you can say, I don't have an answer for what's left. Exactly. You got to debunk everything first. let me see here. I like to see a show on one of those ghost shows that test for single bleeds from wires that register on EMF detectors. I agree. It's one of those things that I don't understand. You know, there's shows that check the pipes, that check the walls, they want to check the creaks, you know, they check the doors. But it's the most weirdest thing is I've never seen them once check cable wires. You got singles coming in. A TV doesn't have to be on. The single is there in the cable. You could take one fitting and make it loose, and it's bleeding in the air. It's bleeding in the air. And you know, one of the things you got to watch out, people, I'm serious. If you got cable wires that goes underneath your house and you're having cable issues, you might want to check for rats. You might want to check for rats. Because when rats are pregnant, they like iron. And guess what? They'll chew on that cable wire to get to that iron because they need that iron in their blood for their babies. I found a lot of bad wires in crawl spaces because rats are pregnant and they're eating them. So I used to tell customers, hey, I found this chewed up in your basement. You might want to call exterminator. Get out here. You know, you might have rats because something's chewing this for the iron. Just want to give you guys a little touch up. All right, my friends, it's UFO time. So let's go check out some UFOs. Yep. Rats do that. Yes, they do. Cable wire in a cable wire, you got the conductor, and you got the white, and then you got braids, the silver blades, and it's in good quality cable wire will have a foil, a tin foil, and you bend it back, and that foil and that braid is needed in a cable wire to protect it from bleeding out. But that iron is what makes the rats want to. That iron it helps the rats to feed their babies. It's not just having rats. It means they're pregnant. That's why they're chewing in it. So all right, guys. This one is UFO Lubbock. Lights, August 30th, 1951. In 1951, there was all these lights in the sky. And I love these kind of stories because you got to remember, these is 1951. There's not like nowadays where we got 10,000 airplanes and drones, everything in the air. There's not 10,000 planes, and there's not drones, unless the government has some hidden ones. You know, I guess that could be a possibility. But beyond that, you know, what is the 1951 Lubbock lights? And if this is your first time hearing this story, my God, I'm glad you're here. This is why we're here, people. We're here to learn, you know, and I hope this is your first time hearing it. And if it's not, you might have input to share to everybody else who's not heard this story. Let's get to it.
Late August, early September 1951, a historical and spectacular series of sightings of multiple formations of nocturnal lights occurred in the skies over northwestern Texas. The Lubbock lights, as they are known, specifically refer to the appearance of 18 to 20 bright objects proceeding in a V formation over Lubbock, as documented by these photos taken by a college student on the evening of August 30th. During the preceding days, strange lights were spotted in the Lubbock area. On the night of August 25th, a similar aerial luminous display was witnessed by 3 Texas Tech professors: geologist W.I. Robinson, chemical engineer A.G. Orberg, and Professor W.L. Ducker, head of the Department of Petroleum Engineering. The 3 saw at least 30 lights crossing at a very high speed over the dark sky. More sightings were reported the following days. Then around midnight on August 30th, a Texas Tech freshman, 18-year-old Carl Hart Jr., observed a perfect V or boomerang-shaped formation of lights over his parents' house. He grabbed his Kodak 35mm camera and snapped these photos of the lights before they disappeared. An interesting occurrence in the pictures is the presence of a much larger and almost triangular-shaped light, which some have speculated could be a mothership overseeing the formation. Once developed, Hart took the pictures to the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, where the editor Jay Harris paid him $10 for the entire set. When the pictures appeared in Life magazine, they got the attention of the Air Force. Although Captain Edward J. Ruppelt of Project Blue Book found no evidence of a fake, he concluded that the 3 professors saw a flock of birds. Several years later, the Air Force conclusion was still migratory birds. Ground Saucer Watch, a civilian UFO research organization, concluded instead that the lights caught on film by Hart were definitely not birds.
All right, so what do you guys think? Oh, first of all, I like this comment. Hold on a second. Oh, not that one. Yeah, you can't be part of the family. You can join it with a membership, be part of the family. I like the bad cable wire more than electrical wiring because they usually shut off the power during investigations while the cable is always on, whether the TV or not. And also, there is somewhat of a current that goes in a cable wire, to go from A to B. So, and there's always a signal there. Think about it. FM radio, FM frequencies, it's all in the cable wires, 98 megahertz all the way to 1,000 megahertz. So you have all that leaks in the air. What do you think is going to pick up, right? So what do you guys think of those lights? Let me see here. Donnie, V formation would indicate the crafts are beholden to aerodynamics unless all those lights belong to one craft. Good point. Good point. I love that. I love that input. Thanks for putting those input. And now, so if that's your first time hearing it, you guys know you can study anytime you want. And, remember, all these titles of all these videos I show you is in the description. So you always have a source of information to go into the description, find the title of like this video and start researching it later on today that you don't want to see. Now this next one I love this next one because it's like an old clip from a TV show from the 70s where it's Ron Sterling from Twilight Zone, where they used to get the voice to documentary and they do like a re-shot of the scene, but the voice, the way they talk, the way they do everything. I miss those 70 documentaries. I miss the ones that Lemoy, Spock from old Star Trek. I love when he did those In Search Of shows. That voice, it's just so freaking awesome. So you guys might enjoy this and have a kick out of the old style documentaries. Oh, this is called, I forgot to tell you, this is 1957, November 2nd, Levelland, Texas, UFO incident. This is another incident in Texas in 1957 on November 2nd. So I had a kick out of watching this. I hope you guys do too.
November 2nd, 1967. Two men are driving west of Levelland, Texas. The night is clear and still. Then around 11 p.m., they have an extraordinary experience.
Yeah,
Come on,
and
let's
that is
get out
Rob
and check
Sherwood.
it.
I love it.
After the object disappears, their lights come back on. The engine restarts, and they hurry to notify the police. Later, the Air Force investigates their story and 15 similar reports before concluding that a form of globular lightning was responsible for the sightings. But there are many other possible explanations.
I love the little clips. It's like it brings me back when sometimes these make these documentaries. All that. Do UFOs normally sound like that? That's a good question. I wish Anthony was here. I don't know they actually sound like that, but I just kind of like that old footage and all that. But beyond that, the story stays the same. You've heard that a lot where before a UFO, or not even a UFO present, there's like certain sections in the roads. You heard stories where the power just goes out and weird things happen. And then when the weird thing stops happening, the power comes back on. And you hear that story all the time. And then now, and they saw the sighting. And I think about that. Think about how they're freezing up. That's probably true on what people's reactions would be. I mean, I can imagine my power all going out, right? You go outside looking at the car and you see this light just come down. I mean, what would you do? You don't know what you're going to do because you're not in that situation. We all think we know what we're going to do when we're in certain situations. And the truth of the matter is you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what your mind is thinking, your heart is doing. You might be pissing in your pants or taking a dump in your pants. I don't know. You don't know what your reaction is. You might be sitting there pissing your pants, a big turd in your underwear, looking at this light coming down, not knowing what the fuck's going to happen. And then it just takes right off. What is it there? Was it studying you? And then, you got balls, right? You got balls and you tell the police, you tell them, and then, yes. Ball lightning, everyone's favorite method of explaining away the paranormal. Or what was on Chad's Miss channel yesterday? They said gases, weather balloons. That's because they don't want to investigate it, right? And they said in that story, they had like 15 reports of this. 15 reports of this. This stuff has been happening, right? Listen, could there be lightning? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they can't, but we all been in lightning storms. We know the difference of freaking lightning than a steady light coming down We're not stupid. Yes, we might be in the police station with urine in our pants and a turd, a turd there. Well, hopefully you kind of, you dump your turd out in the freaking desert, or you take off your underwear or something before you go into the police station. Because the last thing you want to do is tell the cops your story, and they're like, you kind of smell like shit. And literally you do. You don't want that. So if you're in that position, make sure you get rid of that. You want the cops to take you seriously. And then, and the cops are going to, and this is the thing about cops. Now, this is nothing against them. They are judging you the way you dress, the way you are. I know if I walked in there with my typical Star Wars shirt that I always wear, they're looking at me like, oh, he's one of those kind of people. They're not going to take me serious. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Dump that turd. You better dump that. Hey, listen, you guys might think I'm joking, but you see this big light coming straight down and your power goes out in your car, you can lose bodily functions. You don't know. You truly don't know. You don't. So make sure before you see the cops, dump that turd. Oh man, that's be a pretty good shirt, huh? Before you talk to the cop or talk to the police force or anybody, dump that turd. That might be a good shirt. I gotta think about that one. I like it. If a UFO came to me, I poo my pants. When they aliens tried to probe my butt, they're getting a Hershey surprise. Yes, right. Hey, that might be your last opportunity to save your probing, right? Where an alien, I'm sure even the turd is beyond all aliens' nose smells, right? Like, ooh, this one is defective. Let's dump this one in the middle of the desert. Let's dump it. Donnie, we're on to something. Right? So if you're going to get invaded by aliens and you're going up in that ship, you're about to get probed, push out a turd first. That might be your last resort to not get probed. Yeah. Well, doctors, right? Before they go up to yin yang, they make you drink that juice to dump your body out so they don't get that poo, because they don't want to invade it with that turd stuff. So with aliens, they might be the same way. But the good thing is you're not taking a juice before they probe you. So good one. All right, guys, we're gonna go to do some Mandela effect on one of my favorite movies, Star Wars. Let's get ready.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. Luke, I am your father.
This is from one of my favorite Mandela Effect channels, Hazel Fever, one of my favorite, and he did another one on C-3PO again. And I know Star Wars, and I'll give you guys my opinion on it. So this is the video of C-3PO.
We're here to present two.
Behave yourself, Artu. Mark is talking. Of course, I'm just as excited as you are. Now do be quiet.
All right. All right. Now, I'm going to show you my toys. A lot of you guys know I have toys. I'm a Star Wars fanatic. You know, here's my little mini guys. And right there, C-3PO on this toy has a silver leg. Okay? So my toy has a silver leg. And you guys all know I'm a Star Wars fan because I got the Star Wars lunch pelt and I got this. Now I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I remember, and this is the honest truth. Okay, the two most major Mandela effects for Star Wars. There's two things: is Luke, I'm your father, and C-3PO was all gold, and now there's a silver leg. So if you ask me about is it Luke or no, I'm going to tell you Luke. For whatever reason, why I think it's Luke, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It's just, I'm just telling you, my memory is Luke. I'm your father. Now, for C-3PO, he always had the silver leg for me. The silver leg has always been there for me. And a lot of times when you watch, I have the original Star Wars, you know, he's walking on the sand. It does look gold, but for me, even though I think Luke is an effect, for me, I got to be honest, the silver leg technically has always been there. And of course, every year when the movie comes out, they clean it up more, they clean it up, and it's silver. It doesn't mean it was all gold. It doesn't mean that. Now, I seen Star Wars. That was the first movie I ever saw. I ever saw in the theaters. I grew up on Star Wars. I know it inside out. For me, I remember the silver leg, but it doesn't mean he was all gold. Everybody has different effects, okay? Because everybody who knows me knows that I believe calling the Mandela effect under Nelson Mandela to me is wrong. Everybody knows that. Because for me, Nelson Mandela never died twice. For me. George Lucas, to me, is the real key into the phenomenon. And I believe that George Lucas is 100% Mandela affected because he almost did die twice. He did get in the major car accident in 1964 or 67 where in his timeline, he wanted to be a race car driver, not a director of a movie, but he got in a car accident that totaled his car, went to the hospital, and apparently that in the hospital where he had the image of Star Wars. And some people said he actually did die in that hospital, but they brought him back. That's the story. It's not proven. So you take that with a grain of salt. So I always believe that George Lucas has always been affected himself because if you go from the original movies to the prequels, he wrote all those and he wrote it with some writers, but he was one of the main writers behind it with his people. Okay. Don't get me wrong. He's not the sole writer of the Star Wars movies. I forgot the name of the main writer with them, but he did have writers and the prequels and the things don't line up properly in the wording in the prequels, especially like, for example, Return of the Jedi, when Luke was talking to his sister Leia, right? I have no memories of my mom. Tell me about our mom. And she would say she was very beautiful. And then, of course, in the prequels, they never met the mom because she died at birth. Was that just a total fuck up of George? Or did George, in his mind, had the memory of she's always died and forgot what Luke said to Leia? You would think a writer of his own franchise, of his own story, would not do that and everything would line up. Things never lined up properly between the prequels and all that. And I feel because George is an affected person, 100%. If it was up to me, I would get rid of Fiona Boom's name because they use Nelson Mandela's name to sell books, period. They use it to sell books. That's not debunking nothing. That is a fact. They should have called it Lucas effect, right? Because it seems like all these major effects in movies are all related to George. All of it. It seems like George has a relations to all of it. Eric, have you ever seen the Japanese movies called The Hidden Fortress by Akira? God. You know what, Terry? That sounds familiar. I just don't. I can't remember. I might have. Walter Corbin. I worked at Cinema 6, seen the movie countless times, and don't remember really noticing the leg. And that's a good point, too. That's a good point. All because you watch a movie 100 times, it doesn't necessarily mean you're watching certain parts of C-3PO's arm or legs. It could have been slightly green and you would never realize that. And that's a great point. And then somebody says right off the bat, oh, that used to be silver or gold. And then you kind of put that memory there. And it's not replacing the memory. It's just you never truly, remember seeing that parts. All because you've seen certain parts. It's like music. Music lyrics are very hard for me because I know the songs. I love music. But it's not like I follow every single lyric of the song. So even though I probably think it might have changed, I can never say that 100% fact, I can't, but like Dolly having braces in Moonraker. In my memory, she has braces. Regardless of the reason why, that's my memory. Right or wrong, it's my memory. So, in the two most major effects in Star Wars, Luke, I'm your father. No, I'm your father. I remember Luke. The leg, I remember the silver leg. Some people remember opposite. Some people remember gold leg. And remember Darth Vader saying, "No, I'm your father." There's no right or wrong answer. There isn't really. Your memory, I've told you guys this before. Your memory is your memory. Don't ever let anybody call you an idiot, call you stupid for your own memories. I personally believe if there's a change, there's a reason why. I personally believe that. That's me. That's me. And I believe some changes are personal to you. It doesn't matter if 1 million people remembers it. It doesn't matter. Some here, Eric. So I make my own lyrics up. Same here. I've made my own lyrics, and also music. You also got to remember, music is a little harder, and you got to do a lot of research. A lot of research on music, on certain changes in the lyrics, because there are parts of the country, parts of the world that certain lyrics cannot be said. Certain words are not allowed to be said. So they have to record a different word for certain reasons. I can't tell you every song that's done that, but you do got to do your research and, Google the song. Like, how many different versions are there in a song for different countries? That's you got to debunk everything. And if you don't debunk everything, then you're not doing nobody any good service. You're not. And even if you do all the research, it still comes down to what you remember. That's what it comes down to. You remember. Somebody, I said it 1,000 times. Somebody could show me 1,000 reasons why I think that Dolly had braces for Moonraker. You can tell me 1,000 reasons, but my memory has it where she has braces. That's why her and Joss fell in love, because of the teeth. That's my memory. I can't change it. But I will never criticize anybody who says, "No, Eric, she never had braces." Fantastic. That's great. Because look at it the same way as paranormal. You believe in ghosts or you don't. Some people have a good reason why they don't believe in ghosts. Good for you, my friend. Some people don't believe in UFOs. They think it's all made up. It's all lights. And it is lightning. It is gases. Great if you think that. That's fine. But there's a right and wrong way of presenting that to somebody, not doing name callings, not calling people out. You don't need to do none of that. Listen, when Warner Brothers slapped that copyright, when I did the Superman Mandela effect, I did in the beginning of the show, I could have been angry, sent them and said, "Fuck you guys, freedom of speech. My amendment, whatever, amendment 1, freedom of speech, my fair use." No, I wrote them using YouTube. I wrote on why I believe that I should be able to use their content. And you guys saw the email that I showed you guys. They released it to me. They said you could use it. Why? Because I use kind words. I said I was reviewing your video. I was using the content to explain why I feel that movie is more Mandela effect movie than hold on again. Hold on. Give me a second. Where is it? Did I lose it? Here. I want to share the screen one more time, and you guys get a chance. This is the video I'm talking about. I called it Man of Steel Superman movie, the real Mandela effect movie. And I try to make a case on why I feel that this movie was a better Mandela effect movie than the movie called Mandela Effect, where I thought it was just stupid. I know it's how crazy that sounds. I try to make a case. And that was copyrighted by Warner Brothers, where I wasn't allowed to show it, but they released it to me. So now it's back. So this is a fun video that I tried to combine the two and what some people go through. You know, you hear about rabbit holes, right? And I try to brace how Superman, some of the things he went through is almost the exact same way somebody going through a rabbit hole. Could be for UFOs, could be for Bigfoot, for Mandela effect. So if you guys haven't seen that video, please check it out. It's only 22 minutes. It's pretty fun. And I'm so happy that Warner Brothers, a big company, actually released it back to me. You know, they did. That's just, it's so exciting to me. So, and all that. And overall, I want to thank you guys for being here today. And for one last thing, I am going to do one more reading for everybody in the chat. This is for the whole chat. I'm going to do another reading for everybody in the chat because I want you guys to have a great weekend. I want you guys to have a safe weekend. So for this, I'm going to use the yellow crystal. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to use it to pick a card. And this is going to be the card for you guys to go through the weekend for. All right? Okay. So the card, this is the card. And this is the card we're going to lead off the weekend to. All right? So this is the card to lead you guys off for the weekend. Make something new. Build an invention or create a piece of art out of things found in your home. It doesn't matter if works or looks good. The act of creation often teaches us valuable lessons. This is a great card. So guys, this weekend, build some kind of art, whatever it is, but use the stuff in your house. Is it, you know, materials? Is it writing or drawing? Whatever you consider art, build it this weekend. And when you build something, there is a certain satisfaction that you get. It doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing in the world. It doesn't have to be the most ugliest thing in the world. It came from your own hands. So take a chance this weekend. So the card is just basically saying, do something great. Do something at your own house. Build something, whatever it is. Electronics, a bike, a drawing, a piece of clothing, whatever it is. Just make something. You know? If it's creating a video for your channel, doing something different, that's your art. That's your artwork. Brown Dwarf, I know you do a lot of video shots out there. I know you go out there. I know Danny Stanton goes out there and do video shots. If your art is putting that video together for the world to see, that's your art. Everybody has a different piece of art. And I really, truly want you guys this weekend, do something. Build something from your house. Do it here. I want you guys to be out there. I do. But if you have to stay in, you can build art within your own house. And beyond that, your journey is your journey. Well, whatever your journey is, in a car, at your house, surfing the internet, searching social media, going out in the woods, going to a haunted house, it doesn't matter. Whatever your journey is, please take your journey, share it with me. I'd love, one of these weekends, I have more time now to do certain things. I would love to hear your stories, your journeys, and maybe do a show of your guys' journeys. Is it through an email? It doesn't, whatever it is, because we're all on this journey together. Every one of us are on a journey on the paranormal highway.